Welcome to the first episode of Darius College Steps to Success. I'm your host, Darius, of course. First episode, so we're going to get into a little things. We're going to get into my background. We're going to get into some basic levels of success to succeed in the college realm. This goes for anybody in high school, maybe some middle schoolers out there that are ready to be done with school and trying to get to the college level. But yeah, some background about me is that I'm a senior in college. My majors are secondary English education, English studies, and then I have two minors, which is literature and Africana studies. Again, I'm a senior, so I'm ready to graduate. It has been a very, very busy year for me as I apply for graduation and get ready for all this other stuff. But we're going to go right ahead and get into those steps. When I was a freshman, I thought it was a good idea to schedule an 8 a.m. because in K through 12, you're used to getting up early. So in K through 12, I always got up at like 5:30 a.m. And so when I got to college, I was like, oh, 8 a.m.? That's not too bad. An 8 a.m. math class makes that all the worse. I had an 8 a.m. math class and it was about 8 to 10:40. It was about 2.5 hours, a little bit over 2.5 hours. And probably the first decision I had in college was probably that worst one, scheduling that class so early, because I'm like, okay, I can just pop up at 7:30, go down. But my class was on the opposite side of campus because I didn't look at the map beforehand. So I thought it was a good idea to schedule an 8 a.m. math class, which was probably the worst decision thus far. So when you're getting into college, don't schedule those 8 a.m.s. Don't schedule those 8:30s, those 8:45s, those 8:15s, because they don't go so well. My earliest class was 9, and because they were required classes, and so even getting up at like 8:15, 8:30 to walk over to my 9 a.m. was just kind of brutal anyway. And so I had to live with that decision for a whole semester. I lived with that decision for a whole semester, and I regret that I did pick that 8 a.m. class because I felt like college was different. And so I'm like, I'm used to getting up at 5:30, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I was getting up at like 7:30, a couple hours later. I should be into this. But no, I was not. I was not into this. So that's a step about scheduling classes. You don't want to schedule those classes, those 8 a.m.s, those 8:15s, those 8:30s, those 8:45s, those 9 a.m.s. Only schedule those unless they're required, honestly. And this is the first semester where I haven't had a 9 a.m. and I had to get up early. So I'm thankful for that. But take into consideration how you feel. Are you an early person? Because I thought I was an early person. You think you're an early person until you get to college. So until you get to college, then you realize that you're not such an early person. And so maybe I should have scheduled classes a little later or looked into maybe an online course to help me kind of succeed in getting up early. I think I missed like 3 classes that semester, which is impressive because there were just a couple mornings that I just couldn't do it. I laid in the bed, my alarm went off, and I looked at my alarm and I looked at my pillow. I looked back at my alarm and shut that thing off because who you don't realize, but as you're going through and scheduling those classes, college, high school students and future college graduates, such as like middle schoolers that, I don't know, I have any middle schoolers listening to this, but as you go and start to schedule your classes with your advisor and they say you have to take this now or this is the only course, make sure you look around and make sure you prepare yourself mentally. So yeah, class scheduling is one of the biggest things to success. Same thing, it goes vice versa with evening classes as well. It goes vice versa with like 6 p.m.s, 7 p.m.s. Yes, there's 6 p.m. classes. that professors teach. And so I only had one 6 p.m. class, and that was last semester. And so it wasn't terrible, but by like 7 p.m., you're really checked out. But luckily, she didn't keep us the entire time. She never kept us all the way to 8:40, but 6 to 8:40. She never kept us the entire time. She would let us out maybe 10, 15 minutes early, which wasn't too much time to like get out earlier, but at least you didn't stay to like that 8:40, 8:45 mark. So just as like that morning is just as kind of brutal in the evening, because sometimes you're just ready to like be done. Like I don't want to get up and go walk across campus because I live on campus. I don't want to go walk across campus at 5:50 p.m. in the evening. Like I'm ready to be done with my day. I'm either ready to be in the gym or I'm ready to be clocked out in my room, or that's basically dinner time. Actually, college students don't have dinner time, so it's when you can eat. But yeah, there's just that time, like 6 to 9, 6 to 8:40. Sometimes you just can't avoid because that was required class. So you kind of have to mentally prepare yourself and mentally prepare yourself not to check out at 6 p.m. because you still have to learn at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., almost to 9 p.m., as well as 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So those are a little bit heads up about those class time schedules, because when you're a freshman, you think maybe you're superhuman. So maybe a lot of freshmen didn't make this mistake like I did in scheduling, like, oh, this ain't that bad. Some were like, yeah, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and my first class won't be till noon, which I was like, man, I want to be done early, which was a positive, which was an upside to having an early class or having an early schedule. You were done earlier than everybody else, so you kind of just had time to either nap, eat, do work, catch up on exams and stuff like that. So I mainly have my classes scheduled for like the early morning. Well, yeah, because most of my classes again 9 a.m. and I try to be done by like 2:45, 3 o'clock. The only time a semester I was out past three was because I had that one course, and so that's me personal preference about what I want to do in my class time, class schedule. Are you an early morning person? Are you I'm an afternoon go getter, or are you an evening to nighttime? And that's when you grind throughout the night, and that's when your brain starts to kick in and start to turn on. And then in the morning, you can take that freedom, that liberty to kind of sleep in, and so you're able to sleep in, and then you just go to class later, which is a good schedule to have. But in college, I didn't have a sleep schedule, so no matter how many times I thought I was going to go to sleep early and get up early, that did not work out. I always went to sleep late to 2 a. I always went to sleep really late, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and got up at like 8 or 9. Somehow I survived, but not everyone survives. So it's all about that willpower and all about that creating your own success in your own schedule, because you have that freedom. And it's not high school, it's not middle school, it's not elementary, where you are given a schedule and you have to follow it. You set that schedule and you reap what you sow. And so, yeah, I definitely reaped what I sowed when I made my schedule. So this first episode, just a little recap, was about scheduling, just making sure that you schedule your classes in a way that will lead to success. If you are a morning person, schedule those classes and be done by like 1, 2, 3 p.m. If you are an evening person, sleep in till like noon. Have your first class at 1:15 and then be done by like 6. So it's all about creating your own success in your schedule making and deciding what and how you want to go about this college stuff, because a lot of people drop out from the schedule making because it is a bit difficult. But also college is just rough anyway. I mean, just be straight up. College is rough. It's not easy. Yeah, making that schedule is the optimal and the best way to get you in a smooth sailing pace to be able to graduate. And so thank you for listening to episode 1. I will be back at it with plenty of episodes because I've been through college. I've been through almost all of it. I am a senior, And in my last semester is next semester, and I graduate in the fall. And so I have lots of tips to spread, lots of words, lots of advice to give to people that haven't been in college or are on the fence about if they want to go to college or not. So this could be your deal breaker here just by listening to me about my experiences, about what do you need for success. So thank you for listening, and have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time of day you're listening to this. I just want to say thank you for listening, and I'll be back for episode 2 with more advice. Thanks.